There's this doctrine of dining with the devil. You know, people say if you want to dine with the
your
devil,
spoon must be long.
your spoon must be long. And there are people who have said that look, it is better not to even dine with the devil.
Don't let the food appeal.
Don't even have any relationship with the devil to the point where you'll be found on the same table with the devil.
We eat you with the food.
Because you'll be surprised that with your long spoon
You won't get
and the table and the plate and yourself, you are done. So I see a Fubara who has decided to dine, quote and unquote, now with the devil. His long spoon is not even enough to protect him now, to get a better share of the meal. And I think he's in a fix. I think he's the most confused politician in Nigeria as we speak. Governor Fubara.
I think Governor Fubara is not a politician.
Okay,
No, because the guts of a politician is not in him.
I think so too.
It's not in him at all. And that was why WİKE chose him, actually succeed him. He looked at Fubara as somebody who we can say, shut up, and get up from here, and we actually shut up. But Fubara just discovered that he is now the governor.
And tremendous power,
but does not have that guts to exercise
this power. He can't even push it through.
He can't push it through.
He doesn't understand it.
Yeah. Just as you said, he's confused because how do I manage this power? I have it now. What do I do to WİKE? Who put me here? What were his expectations when he said I should come here? Do I disappoint those expectations? A politician will disappoint those expectations and hold on to the power that he has.
Mɪᴅ Okoduwa, before we leave this reverse conversation, where does WİKE stand in all of this? See, whether we like it or not, the whole problem started when Fubara came out 3 days after that. What happened between him and WİKE is a father to son disagreement. They will sort it. You know, I started noticing these things during some of the campaigns leading to the governorship election. You would see Governor Fubara, that is the candidate of the PDP, seated at rallies. He barely speaks. I mean, WİKE is always everywhere speaking on his behalf. When they had the Thanksgiving, after the swearing in of the governor, at the chapel in the government house, the executive governor of the state had already seated. And according to protocol, once he sits, nobody else comes in. WİKE and his family walked into the church. The governor had to stand up, collected the mic again, and welcomed WİKE. I've followed political conversation for a few days now. I've never seen that level of disregard to protocol. I've never seen that before. And we've seen a lot of instances also where even the governor will come out and say that if they kill him today, he will die as a political martyr. He will die fighting for the people of Rivers. And I'm wondering, nobody is after your life. You are the governor. You have the power to do and undo. In fact, the constitution allows you to remove somebody that is on the death row. You have that much power. Mɪᴅ Okoduwa, WİKE had constantly said he does not have any hand in what is going on in Rivers State. Is that enough for us to hold on to?
WİKE had both hands and legs.
In his whole body.
In everything. Inside what happened in Rivers State. When you say nobody is after Fubara's life, WİKE is after Fubara's life. See, all this politically correct statement they are making is to deceive you and me. Oh, it's a problem between father and son. That's politically correct. I don't have any hand in this. That's also politically correct. But the opposite is actually what you have. You see, WİKE is. I don't want to use words that is not acceptable now. WİKE is like somebody who has gone far and looking back. Talk of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot and his wife. The wife turned to become pillar of salt. What happened? Because he looked back and he saw pillars of fire raining on Sodom, and suddenly with fear great heart he became a pillar of salt. That's what happened to WİKE. We has left Rivers State
for national politics.
Yes, he didn't leave the politics. He didn't leave the growth of the place. In fact, he appointed over half of the cabinet. And
did you say half?
Yeah,
16 of the commissioners. In fact, the chief security officer, the senior security details of the governor, was appointed by
all those are supposed to be his key men in those places. And suddenly, this small boy in quotes, who will kowtow to him at any given time, has suddenly realized. And when we have just discovered that there are hands, there are people who are now trying to educate Fubara into problem with his godfather, which OꞰ and 𝗃𴛍. It happened. It always happens.
Even in Lagos.
Lagos. So by the time you discover that, oh, I'm now the governor, even that my former governor, I can deal with him. I can make sure he doesn't come to Rivers again. All those powers are beginning to come into you, realizing that this thing. Where Fubara's idea of being a governor was signing money, signing projects, and the rest of the, just as Wike was doing. But he didn't know that it goes beyond that. He now knows that his tenure as a governor, as you said earlier, is going to reflect on his life forever. Whether he fail, when Fubara was here, we everything went down. Or when Fubara was here,
Rivers became better.
He has that history to contend with. He suddenly discovered it. So which one is his choice? To abandon Wike and become a governor, or to become a governor under Wike's
command? Can we win this battle? I've listened to a lot of political.
If he hires me as a person, he will win. I'm telling you the truth.
Is there a battle?
It is. Maybe there's no balance of challenge here. Maybe it's just somebody being a
battle. I say Fubara who is completely confused. God knows what he was told. Again, when there's political conversation, there are meetings and there are shadow meetings and other meetings, and so I think that beyond what happened in Abuja, where he was summoned, again, something not constitutional, because again, the governor is not an appendage of the president.
Yes,
he's democratically elected. So what happened in Abuja is also so unconstitutional, not to any proper democracy. But beyond what happened in Abuja, I also think that some other things must have happened behind. Again, everything changed. We've seen Fubara was almost talking tough when all this crisis started, and then suddenly
not going down.
The tune now changed to there's no cause that is too much for peace and all of that. I see him as a man that is politically confused. I see him as somebody like Mr. Okodo has said, he's not really a politician. Look,
he's not a politician.
When this thing started, okay, let's just flip the coin. Imagine it's a Wike that is the governor.
Now,
can any president try what they are trying, or anybody try what they are trying with Fubara with him?
I'm not sure there's any Nigerian politician now that has names and issues or videos on social media. Because again, when people called APC so unprintable. Because
when people say, oh, but Wike Fubara, he did this, he did that. Wike too, at some point in his life, was helped by some people. The people that started brought him up as a politician. Where are they with him today? So, but again, it is what it is. I wish Mr. Fubara well as governor.
Wow.
God help his soul.
Thank you. In case you're just tuning in, this has been Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM. We get to do this every Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. I'm sure you've been listening to the conversation, so you have an idea of what we talk about. We've had loads of calls here. In fact, since we started the conversation on News of Wiki, the phone lines have been buzzing. We'll pick the calls very soon. I mean, we've had some, really soft and mild conversations. Started with the statement of Senator Alun Dume about the airport being relocated to Lagos. The statement of the Arewa Consultative Forum also saying that the decision of the president to relocate some part of CBN to Lagos is a ploy to underdevelop the north and all of that. We also look at Wiki. We look at Governor Fubara. We look at the decision of the courts, the federal court in Abuja that nullified the 800 billion budget that was signed by 4 members that were loyal to Governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara. We'll flip the coin a little bit and we'll go to something that is more solemn, the issue in Plateau State. But before then, you can also follow us on our social media platforms. We're live on facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. You also go on X, formerly Twitter, Mainland FM. You go on Instagram and YouTube. We're streaming on Mainland 98.3 FM, so we can read your messages from that space. You can also drop your calls when we open the phone line. I will open that pretty early, but we need to take a very quick break in a minute or two. Midweek Politics returns. My name is still 𝗃𝗄, and outside Fuad and Matthew Okudwa are with me on the show. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
It's easy to bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult.
The general elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous Akinode and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
It's all about our strategy. We're not resuming work, but we have a strategy. Not really. We intend to do is that we have approached the courts and we are law-abiding citizens of Plateau State. We are not going to do anything contrary to what we have on ground. But we have our own strategy and we want to keep it to our chest. So we're not resuming work. We're not anywhere near the House of Assembly. You see, from the judgment of the Supreme Court, I now know that our mandates were stolen. And ordinarily, if you catch a thief with your stolen television, even though he has taken it home, you find a way of taking it back. Therefore, we have approached the courts and eventually we're working on it. As it is, the members of my constituency are not ready to give up on their mandate. They have asked us to approach the courts and we have done just that. It's a very sad situation. The gentleman, the Court of Appeal gave him my mandate. He got 25,000 votes, and if you multiply his votes times 3, he needs almost another extra 9,000 votes to get to where I got. So the thinking in my constituency is that I need to do everything, and I think it's the same thing of the 16 other constituents, that we must do everything humanly possible within the laws to reclaim our mandate, and we are just doing that. We have a new challenge as far as issues are concerned in Nigeria, and then yes, it is obvious that everybody knows from the books that the cases for houses of assembly to the senator stops at the Court of Appeal. But here we are with a situation whereby the Supreme Court has ruled in the case of the governor that neither the Court of Appeal nor the tribunal had jurisdiction to entertain those issues. So ours for round, we want to enrich whatever it is, we try and build whatever it is, seeing the windows. We have been told by our lawyers there are windows, and we are exploring those windows. So it's a matter of strategy again. I would not want to say it on national television. We have quite a number of windows that we are looking. It's a matter of, I keep saying it, there are quite a number of windows that we're exploring. It's like a graveyard. People are worried, people are not happy, people are sad. You see, let me say this. Ordinarily, if the people, the 16 members of the APC that were given our mandates, if we were in a civilized world, by now they would have gone back to say, look, take your thing. We don't want it because it is obvious that it was a stolen mandate. Nobody is happy on the plateau. The only thing that has given us hope is that the governor has come and people are rejoicing, but ordinarily it's a sad mood and people are not happy. Look, I come to think of it as I say, you won your election with almost 80-something thousand. And somebody wakes up and gives a man that got 25,000 votes in the mandate. Who is he going to represent? You know, it's a very sad situation on the plateau, and that's why our constituents have asked us to approach the courts, and we're doing just that. The case of plateau is novel. We have not had issues like this among the election cycles. This is a new case, we have something that is coming up that presents a new thing. So we want to explore and see so that we don't have such issues in the future. If we just say, okay, let's just sit down, just accept what it is, and then at the end of it, whichever way the court say, we're going to accept. But let's try something and see whether there's a window within the Constitution of the Federal Republic. One thing, and let me say this, if the Supreme Court sentences a man to death and it's about execution, and eventually there are new evidence, do we kill the man because the Supreme Court has said so? No, we have that man on the have a way of setting him free. So we want to check and see whether there's a window for us, because it is our mandate, God-given mandate. People give us this mandate, so we're going to do exactly what we can do to make sure that we retain our mandates. No, that depends on the constituents. It's not for me to say I want to contest. You know, if after the next cycle, the next 4 years, probably I will not go back to the House of Assembly, or I just go back to my farm. But as it is, I have a mandate of my people to see what I can do to reclaim their mandate. Because as far as they're concerned, they have been robbed, you know. So we don't allow them to enjoy the booty of the robbery. We want to do everything humanly possible, legally possible, to ensure that people get their mandate back. Everything
is to bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult.
General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikiwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join 𝗪𝗪 and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
Politics not big business.
Okay, welcome back to Midweek Politics, live on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. First off, let me apologize to all of the calls that have been coming in. We'll open the phone lines, or the phone lines are open rather, but we'll pick the calls very soon. Well, I have Matthew Okodia with me in the studio, also outside Fuad. We get to do this every Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. I will take the political conversation beyond the surface, get into the crux of the matter, discuss and dissect all of the, front burner players, the actors, and the people that decide the political fate of until we have the next census, approximately 230 million Nigerians. Thank you for joining us. The voice you heard was the voice of Right Honorable Fᴜဃᴜ, the immediate past Deputy Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly. If you observe, the last few months, Plateau State had been in the news constantly for the very wrong reasons. This is not about political correctness, or we have to just say it exactly the way it is. If it is not on issue of politics, election, it is the killings. Yesterday, day before yesterday, there was a series of attacks in Mongu local government that coincidentally happened to be the local government of the executive governor of the state. People were killed, houses were burnt, and the governor had to quickly declare 24 hours curfew in that local government. That is the third between May when he was sworn in and yesterday. So it brings in a lot of questions, but we'll leave that to one side. Let's look at the political situation in that state. The former deputy speaker was on the situation yesterday, and he talked about the enemies of the state. If you hear the Commissioner of Information talk, he will say the enemy of the state. If you hear the governor speak, he will say the enemy of the state. If you hear the SSG speak, he will say the enemy of the state. If this senator comes to speak, they will say the enemy of the state. And the former deputy speaker said something yesterday. He said in the last 12 years, it's only one Christmas that they've not had the kind of bloodshed that they had this last Christmas. Only one. That means every single Christmas period, while the entire world are rejoicing, people across the 17 local government or selected local been around this political conversation of religious superiority. There's been talk of so many things, political correctness or not. What exactly is going on with Plateau State that are constantly taking the lives of innocent people that only found themselves being indigents and residents of those states?
I think the only way I can describe it is demonic. The devil has planted himself in the minds of so many people, because if you see the way people are killed and murdered in Plateau, you cannot believe that a fellow human being, flesh and blood, can do that to somebody else. 2, what kind of disagreement that you cannot resolve through discussion that will lead to all these things? 3, there are some invisible hands. I was listening to this guy, one of the watching him yesterday on one of the stations. He said there are about 60 communities that are no more inhabited by anybody now. But the invaders have taken over. But it's actually as a result of mining activities. Last week we said so. This is at the point when government should show up. The other time I said government is supposed to be a colossus, higher and taller than everybody else. Everybody must bow down to government. The former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, had said that these people are not Nigerians. Here we are saying they are from here. So what is government doing? Government should stand up to be a vote to defend Nigerians. I'm looking at it generally, the insecurity generally now, but particularly the one in Jos is terrible. It's not acceptable anymore. The government should declare war on these bandits, not kidnappers in Jos now. We have bandits and killers and murderers. This one we have in Jos, and again they are territorialized. They are in territories. Those 60 villages have been occupied by people. They are there, and for the past how many years they have been there, and no government has confronted them to say live here. So what are we doing? And once somebody commits offense and is not punished, people feel that it is right to do it. Of all the perpetrators that have been arrested, whether enough or not, but the few that have been arrested, what has happened to them? What have we prosecuted them? That goes to show that there is the hand of Jacob and the voice of Esau. We are looking at children, young boys, but they are not the real people. They are big men that when you arrest the children, he will not go and set them free, and there be nothing. So everybody feel that it is right for me to do it. Who will not quake when there is a prospect of death? Say if they arrest you, they will kill you. Then he will drop his gun. But here they will not kill anybody. They will not punish anybody.
Forward. Yes. Prior to the 2023 election, the immediate past speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Noah Bok, decamped from the APC to the PDP. In fact, it was a situation that got the national attention because it was impeached around 6:42 a.m. And the rule book, the standing order of the House says the House must convene at 9 a.m. So it was impeached at 6:42 a.m. And by 8 a.m. the Commissioner of Police dead on the plateau had instructed that the police should seal off the environment of the House of Assembly. No Abok was removed. It took them 18 months in court before he was reinstated, but he left and he joined the PDP from the APC. There's always been issues with the House of Assembly in Plateau State, thereby affecting effective administration in that state. Is it safe to say that the distraction in the House of Assembly had made it impossible or difficult to find lasting solutions to these unwanted killings? Because you look at some of these laws that have been made. If these laws have been made and domesticated, there's a law on ground against open grazing, there's a law on ground against this, there's a law on ground against forceful ownership of landed, because even the governor came out to say that if you want somebody's land, approach them amicably. And the governor had now gotten to the point where they say we are praying to God to help us. We've seen the state of helplessness clearly written on the leadership of Plateau, because we've heard the governor talk about God now. The commissioner had come to say may God help us. Side forward, how urgent is the need for a lasting peace? And by the way, Plateau State is supposed to be the home of peace and tourism, but there's no coloration of peace in that state. How vital is the issue of resolving the House of Assembly conversation to gaining peace on the plateau?
Well, when it comes to governance, there's always that interconnectivity. Everything connects, and so when there's a disruption in one arm of government, you discover that government may not be able to function fully. There's no way you're going to have that kind of disruption in the legislative arm of government in the state, that it will not negatively rub off on general principles of governance. The executive probably have their eyes on what is happening in the legislative arm of government. Then judiciary also brought in at the end of the day. Maybe there are different court cases and all of that. So Plateau State has not really enjoyed political peace. Neither has it even enjoyed what is supposed to be proper peace. apart from politics, there's always that disruption. And if you think there have been disruptions in the legislative arm of government in Plateau State, you see this recent Supreme Court judgment and Appeal Court judgment has made matters worse. That's a state that even without questionable judicial pronouncement, they've never known real peace politically. But with this recent judgment, which a lot of people have termed, not even a lot of people, even the highest court in the land have said, look, what happened at the level of the appeal court was a complete miscarriage of justice. As it is in Plateau State now, can there be proper governance? Is anybody paying attention to governance again? So when there's no attention, because again, the first job of any government, priority of any, as even stated by the Constitution, is the protection of lives and properties. And when the government cannot function properly, that first primary responsibility, they can't even do.
They can't do it.
They can't do it. So in the midst of, I'm sure the governor now is so distracted while he's looking at securing the lives and properties of the people, he's also paying attention to what's happening at the State House of Assembly. Because again, whether you like it, I think yesterday some of them were tear gassed, according to reports.
Yes.
The PDP 16 legislators. I'm sure there are also senators who are also not comfortable, who are also
now
and
benefited from
this judgment of the appeal court. So you have a governor who, I think in one of the interviews, he said, look, he's looking for political solution. What is the political solution? There can only be one solution to what happened in Plateau State. It's only a judicial review of that judgment. There's no, what's the political solution? Would they appeal to the APC assembly members to step down for the PD guys to come in? Because and
they already have the certificate of return.
They are there already as a result of the miscarriage of justice at the level of the appeal court. So while all of this confusion is going on, while Nigerians are paying attention to that, the government probably is paying attention to all of that. The war merchants
that are benefiting
and using the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. Just at the turn of the new year, at the eve of Christmas, more than 200 persons were slaughtered in 5 communities. We had not even gotten out of that. We are still talking about bringing the perpetrators to book, all of that, and another one that just happened.
And it's not like between that 25th and yesterday there were no killings. There were some killings. Or killings. But yesterday it just got big again yesterday.
And then of course, because I listened to the Commissioner for Information, and what he said was that look, there are actually war merchants in Plateau State. They thrive on that, they live on that, it's what they want to do. And like you have said, everybody keeps saying the enemies of the state. Who are the enemies of the state? Who are the friends of the state?
You've not been able to identify for
years.
For how many years?
If the former deputy speaker is saying that look, in 12 years of celebrating Christmas in Plateau State, only one Christmas
did not have attack.
That there was no attack. So 11 years down the line, come back to back, they've had attacks in the state. So you ask yourself, and I think the Commissioner for Information was also saying yesterday that he was actually helpless. I must tell you. And listening to the Commissioner for Information, he sounded helpless, he looked helpless, his statements were helpless. Because he kept appealing and saying that look, these people should give peace a chance so that we can develop this state. This state is yearning for development. Look, Plateau State lacks real development. You've been there, you've seen it all. There's a lot of ungoverned spaces, empty, nobody is there. It's just so that's a solution to it. We're also going to run into shares.
Potato, that the largest potato supplier.
You look at Benue, and that's the issue of food crisis in Nigeria.
I mean, that's why the issue in Plateau State concerns all of us. You may stay, Lagos. Where you
are eating.
This time around, nobody will say you are far from.
Nobody.
No, you are not.
It affects everybody.
It affects everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's time for us to talk to the people. We've been having a conversation for the past about an hour, 20 minutes. It's time for you to have the floor. Zero reason. NYSC took me to the States. I mean, all the while we had the reasons to stay back, develop, learn, upgrade your career, CVs and all of that. And all of us that period, you will see that the people in that state don't even ask for too much from the government. Unlike Lagos, where you want to see what your tax is being used for, you want to do this. The people on the plateau just want to be secure from their farms back to their homes, just fix the major potholes in their streets, give them constant light, and they are fine. But on weekly basis, villages, I think why we're having this conversation around that of Christmas was because a lot of people were killed. On daily basis here, 2 people were attacked in one village at the outskirts. It just goes on reported. But because now the intention of the state is now there, every little killing, somebody picks the story and then the person just makes it big. what should we do to all of this? We've talked about the issue of relocating some units in CBN and Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria and the instruction of the Honourable Minister back to Lagos. We've also talked about the issue of River State. The High Court in Abuja had said that the 800 billion budget that was signed by the 4 members loyal to the governor remains null and void. Now there's a vacuum. There's no money to develop River State, and the state is just. And don't forget, the River State does not have a state house of assembly complex. Only God knows where the members will be sitting.
The directive of the president to the governor says they can sit anywhere.
Anywhere does
So
not.
it will even be the bedroom of Yeson.
As long as the maze is present.
They say they can sit anywhere to perform the executive duty.
They are sitting in one hall at the legislators' quarters now.
Crazy.
And they can even move it to the kitchen of Yeson Wiki or anywhere, So
Why not the kitchen of Fubara?
Fubarake.
It doesn't have that control.
They can go to the hotel
and just do anything.
I'm seeing your messages on Facebook already. We'll take a few of those, but let's go back. Let's go to the phone lines. 09136000410. I've had with me in the studio Matthew Okodo aside Fuad and myself. In case you don't know my name is OꞰ L쏘ജᴜ. We get to do this every Wednesdays 1 to 3 p.m. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for being consistent. You've been calling.
I greet your co-discussant too.
Thank you.
You are really doing a beautiful job. This is Eniola Adejian. I'm calling from Olambe Junction.
You're welcome, Mr. Eniola.
I want to comment on the political development in River State.
Go on, please.
I want to concur with one of your discussants there who said Governor Fubara doesn't have the guts. As far as I'm concerned, Governor Fubara is a spineless governor. I'm sorry. Sorry for this language. But the most disturbing aspect of this issue is the PDP as a party. Why is it difficult for PDP as a party to take the 28 lawmakers that defected from PDP to APC? Why is it difficult for them to for PDP to take those people, those lawmakers to court? Why is the PDP as a party standing on the fence? This is regrettable. Good day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eniola from Lambe. Thank you for joining us on the show. 09136000410. Let's go to the conversation.
agree with what the caller just said.
Sorry. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome. Where are you coming from?
From Ogun State.
Okay, I did from Ogun State.
Yes.
Okay,
the solution to Plateau State is just to declare a state of emergency. Clear. That's where the solution will come from. And a shifting of some parts of Central Bank to Lagos and not both of that senator. We should know that the number made that they have hidden agenda as part of this country. And anything that doesn't favor them, they are always on the air. So what will happen is that maybe we just disintegrate. Everybody goes.
I don't think we've gotten to that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dave.
Before you take another call, look at it this way. The state of emergency is not a solution to anything.
It's not.
It only gives you room to take action.
It's really
complicated issue. So if before you say a state of emergency, what are the plans you have that state of emergency will allow you to implement? Otherwise, just put some emergency for nothing. Jesus comes again, you are on your own.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Prime, gentlemen in the studio.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Patrick, you're welcome.
Mr. Sars.
Mr. Sars, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Hello.
I was really pleased hearing Senator Ndume speaking. All that he said, just like the last caller said, I think, in fact, look at what did he say about the Buhari spending billions of dollars on mounting a rail from Nigeria to Maradi. What did he say about the 100 northern sponsors that sponsors the Boko Haram? What is he saying about all the military stuff in the north? I think if it's Nnamdi Kanu, they were fighting a justified cause. If it's a Nnamdi, they would have said he must be set free. Just like this last caller said, it's better with this integrity. We are not. I can take you back.
Hello.
Just finished.
Okay, yeah, I think it's done. 09136000410. Aside for I want to say something. The calls are really.
I wanted to react to the first caller. Basically, who was talking about the PDP, and honestly, what I wanted to say was that look, this would have been where we would have seen the beauty of opposition politics.
Exactly.
This reverse matters.
Exactly.
But where is the PDP in all of this? Even the leader of the PDP
He's loyal to Wike.
I'm talking about loyal to Wike. I'm talking about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. This is where he would have stood his ground as a serious opposition leader, but it's nowhere to be found. He's missing in action.
Okay, that's a strong indictment, by the way. 09136000410. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Prince Wise. You say good afternoon.
Prince Wise.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now you the morning, now you the afternoon, now you on Sunday. OꞰ you are used to wake up.
Let's join the conversation. Let's join
I will join, but I'm happy to join you this afternoon. You see, I want to talk about I'm going to talk a man in the studio.
Mr. Okodoa.
Mr. Okodoa, not time here. This team, the 3 wise men in the studio. God bless you all. I'm bless your management. Indeed, God bless my country, Nigeria. Now, I want to react to Udume. The way he talked yesterday, he talked so tough. He has forgotten. He's a senator of the federation of this country. He's not a regional senator, but they let you for your constituency to represent you as the senator of the federation. This is the way he talks. He talks as if he owns Nigeria. We all own this country. As I'm talking to you, I'm not a second-handed citizen. I'm a first-handed citizen of this country. And nobody can threaten me, can threaten my breath, can threaten where I come from. If somebody spent 4 years as a president, you are very lucky. If we go 8 years, he will be in history. He will see the years working. And what I told you, Ahmed Tinubu, to do the right thing, upon those who is qualified to serve this country, any location of any ministry from Abuja, you can take it to Lagos, you can take it to River, you can take it to Lagos. If we will bring benefit to this country, I want you to grow up. Nobody can do any of that in this country. And again, finally, please. Obasanjo conference, Jonathan conference, that they back aside. Let Tinubu join little to it and make it. Let us go back to regional government. And that is on it.
Thank you, Prince.
So let me stop here.
Thank you very much. If you have a lot more to say, you can join Sig Babalola by 4 o'clock in the Situation Room. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My credit ran out.
Okay, just wrap up the conversation quickly.
Right, please. If you can recall, I watched the defunct Daily Times of Nigeria. If you can recall during the first stuff, the coup, I met Kaduna and Zogo. It grew up in the north. If you can Google and find out what the Sadona of Sokoto said then, he will stay in the north and dictate how the whatever the milk and honey coming from the south, he will dictate how it will be shared. Find out. That is what is playing out. I think the south, the southeast, the southwest should come together now, back up Tinubu. Some say they win election, they win or not, but it's there. They have to correct the mistakes about Obasanjo made. They have to correct the mistake of the past leaders. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Thank you very much. 09136000410. We're taking responses from all of the conversation that we've had on the show today. We've talked about the statement of distinguished Senator Alin Dume. We've also talked about the court decision to nullify and declare null and void the 800 billion budget, 2024 budget that was passed by Governor Fubara. By the way, the government had an element of hope, and we need hope in the statement. I mean, sometimes you listen to the names of this budget and then you laugh. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Malam Salah. Good afternoon.
Malam Salah.
Good
afternoon.
Good
I didn't hear you. Good afternoon.
These two topics are very important to me, and I won't comment to all of them, but time will not permit.
Just manage the time. 2 minutes. Yeah.
Which one do you want me to comment?
Just anyone.
But be brief.
Share it 1 minute.
Okay, I could have commented on slide 2, but let me start with this of moving of the department of you see, we don't have no only hidden agenda as many of locals are saying. We understand this president was completely or partially rejected by Southwest in 2023 election. As a two-time governor of Lagos, he was Lagos. He was a senator of Lagos, he was a two-time governor of Lagos. He was fortunate state of his origin. We are a political scientist. You know what happened in 𝗬𝗎C primary? He was frustrated to the extent he was planning to become to SDP. SDP. That was the reality. All his calculation was exhausted. The second president then don't want him to succeed here. But the same northerners that people are now accusing that we have a hidden agenda, they are the people that came to his rescue. Therefore, I was opportunity to delegate in that primary. Yes, that 2023 primary APC. You understand?
I'm with you.
The president told them clearly that this now that the people that hate him will lie after the primaries. You get me?
I'm with you.
He won election with 8.6 or 8.7 million votes. Out of those votes, about 6 million votes or more than that are from the northern part of Nigeria. If you have anything against him, you contest with Atiku now. Why can't you go over to Atiku? That is a northerner. So people should learn how they talk on national radio. That we are biased. If we are biased, in 1999, in 1998, if you go and look for this chairman leader of 𝗵𝗵 in his autobiography, he stated clearly that when Obasanjo came out of prison, he had only 35,000 in his bank account. You see, it's the northerners that stand behind him that he don't know anything. He was so naive about politics. We stand behind him. Alex Okweme was there. JᴏɪＲ was contested with him. We corner everywhere. Our elders corner them and to make sure that Obasanjo succeeded in this state. So what hidden agenda do we have? But be that as it may, you understand? You see, we northerners from up down, we are well informed politically. The Malam is polishing your shoe. You look at him like a Mala. We know how to use our vote. We know how to use our finger. We know how to do. Those people that really can't count, okay, they can also count that.
So Malam Salah, you are waiting for 2027.
2027. Yes, I don't have anything. I'm alive now. Although I don't have any candidate anyway. I don't have any party. I'm not interested whether to be another to vote for northerner or the southerner or whatever.
Thank you.
Buhari ruled for 8 years. I've not seen any changes in my life. So what next again? So I'm not in support of other but I want us to be very, very balanced in our analysis.
Thank you very much. 0913600. We'll pick more calls in real quick.
Very sensitive issue. Anyway.
Very, very sensitive because I mean, if you look at the position of the ACF also saying that the president wants to underdevelop the north is a signal that the people may interpret wrongly. And one thing about, I mean, I've been in that axis for a while. I understand how symbolic the statement of their elders can be. They hold on to it and they take it to the bank. So somebody can just wake up one Friday afternoon and say, everybody vote for this person, and then you see the outcome of the election the following day, tiptoeing to that same path. So when individuals like that hold such huge position
and making
statement like that, it turns the people against the institution, and it doesn't help anybody's cause. Well, 0913-600-0410 messages are also coming in, but the phones first. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Badebo, calling from
Mr. Badebo from Ikoton.
Yeah. See, you see what is happening in this country, in Nigeria. We are deceiving ourselves. We are still deceiving ourselves. When it is time, everybody will answer his father's name.
Oh, that's all. Mr. Badebo. That was straight to the point. He just dropped the message, and a word is enough for the wise. Everybody should understand. My father's name is Akinobu. I know Okoda and I know side for. Okay, some messages there. This one says, my name is Festus from Ikorodu. You guys have picked the right topics for this afternoon's conversation. I hope the government understand how important it is for us to fix this country. 2027 is here already, and if the people want political correctness, let them develop their region. Thank you very much, Festus from Ikorodu. Okay. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu understand why he's bringing those institutions to Lagos. The cost of governance is huge, and the airport authority can manage it well if it is in Lagos here. How many people uses the Abuja airport? Let's be sincere with ourselves. Some of these policies by the government is to the benefit of every one of us at the end of the day. My name is Kayode from Egbeda. Kayode from Egbeda, thank you very much. We'll come back and read some of the messages. Hello, good afternoon.
Sorry. Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Bring out every.
Hello. Okay, well, I appreciate if you can be lucky enough to still call us back. 0913-600-0410. Don't forget, in case your calls are not, you're not able to pick them, you can go on our social media platforms, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. Now let me ask something side forward. In all of this, on the statement of Alin Dume, there are senators 7 that have corruption issues, a lot of them. Former governors now in the Senate that have issues with the anti-graft agencies. These ones have not been addressed. They are their colleagues that are members of the Senate. Are we missing the priorities when it comes to the concept of one Nigeria? The senators will come and say, I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whether you represent Ekiti West, or you represent Kano North, or you represent Ebonyi South, the people you are representing are first Nigerians before they became members of your constituencies. So they represent Nigeria, and if they move the CBN to Lagos, what gives you the impression that somebody from Borno will not benefit from the movement to Lagos? What gives you the impression that somebody from Sokoto will not benefit? So I'm trying to understand the correlation between moving agencies of government to a state and it affecting the development of a whole region. There's the northeast, there's the northwest, the north central is there. Even though Plateau is trying to remove itself from the north central, they said that the middle belt has, and the constitution does not recognize the middle belt as the part of the north. I want to put it to both of you in 1 minute each. What should be the priority of the president at the moment in terms of fixing the disconnect between the country that we have right now? Let's start with you, Matthew.
He meant it like that, and it will take him time to study.
And does he have that time?
He has the time,
especially with the conversation about political consequences.
He has. Forget all those ones. Tinubu is more depth in political tricks than Dume himself. So I don't think the way we only feel it on behalf of Nigerians. But Tinubu probably would have felt it alone now, and would have dismissed Ndume for that one. You see, we are not. The first thing we should do in Nigeria, just as the man from Amodofin said, what's his name? Prince. Even if you are not dusting up the recommendations of those two committees, commissioner conferences, let's have a way of uniting Nigerians, not on the basis of the oil money, not on the basis of looting, but on the basis of national favor. That this is Nigeria, you shake and stand up that this is Nigeria. No, it's not like that. Why? Because people have already overemphasize the things that made us different instead of the things that unite us. So he should now project ahead the things that unite us for people not to copy, and then we downplay the things that are different among us.
So Fuad, you want to respond to that?
I think the reason why Nigerians leave real issues of governance and begin to chase shadows and talk sentiment and all of that is because, again, our politicians are very smart. Okay, I know what I'm saying. If we're looking for the best way to unite Nigerians, just give them the dividends of democracy. And what are the dividends of democracy? They want good roads, they want qualitative education, they want healthcare, they want jobs. Look, if all of those things are available, look, it will be difficult. Or begin to tell you that moving the department of the CBN,
we will underdevelop.
Why would you take that? But again, you understand, know that Nigerians are, again, they weaponize poverty, they weaponize illiteracy, and so it's easy for them to throw these things at people, and they're going to take it. So if you want Nigeria to be united, you want justice, equity, and development in the country, and you want us to be united as a people, just give the dividends of democracy to people, educate the people, give people quality healthcare, good infrastructure, jobs, power. When people are able to empower themselves economically, they are able to empower themselves with knowledge, there are things the politicians will not bring to the table. They won't take it.
Well, for those of us that have had the privilege of staying in the north a little bit, one thing is very unique with the people of that region. It is the fact that they can collectively make a decision, and it will pass down to generations and generations. Now, this is what I mean. Prior to the Hope 92 election, the 1991 convention in Jos that had Atiku Abubakar was on that election many years ago. I was having a conversation with a very big religious influencer in Jos, and one of the things he told me was that the North could have held on to what they had, which he didn't list, with that election 10 years ago, and collectively the North has the numbers in landmass, they have it. My question is this: is this an advantage that had not been utilized by that region, or it is just a political correctness that had not fallen into the hands of the right people?
It's unfortunate.
You will respond, Saifa. Let me quickly pick this call. It's been here with us. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name, where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Songo. My name is Segui.
Okay. Your name is?
Yeah, I really want to appreciate you guys. You guys are doing a lot of good things for us. Informing us.